Hello, I'm Bethan, one of the speech therapists from Communicate, and this week's chat challenge is based around the theme of Sports Day, as it's the way most kids will finish the school year, and it's a great opportunity for some language and communication as well. I thought this week's chat challenge will hopefully be things that you can use from your house to your garden, either in your garden or a local park or playing field, to try and set up a mini sports day. So first of all, thinking about preschool children, a very simple catch and throw game with a ball or a beanbag, whatever you've got that you can catch or roll to each other, and really sort of build in the anticipation with ready, steady, go, and roll it to your child, and keep sort of building anticipation by making the go a bit longer, and maybe they'll fill in the gap for you by vocalizing or signaling they want you to go. Also, it's really good for turn taking, so say my turn, rolling it, your turn, whose turn is it, and seeing if they can work out whose turn it is. Also, you could do like a mini obstacle course, so using things like planks of wood you could lay out, maybe a blanket, a stick, and a hula hoop, and then get them to go around the course. And as they're going around the course, you can say, oh, you're balancing on the wood, you're going under the blanket, or you're hopping over the stick, you're jumping in the hoop, and modelling loads of really nice action words, and maybe a few sort of very simple position words, and obviously the objects that you're using as well. Another thing you can do, using similar sort of objects, so maybe using things like the hula hoop, you could also use some things like plant pots, buckets, that kind of thing. Get them to follow some instructions. So get things like the beanbag and a ball, and say to them, can you throw the beanbag in the bucket? Or can you run to the stick? Can you jump to the plant pot? Can you throw the ball to the stick? Things like that. So just following some really simple instructions. So in the first years of school, obstacle courses are still a really good thing to do, and you can maybe make it a little bit more complicated, make it a bit bigger, and add some extra items into it. And you could maybe have alternatives, so have like a purple blanket and a red blanket, or a big plant pot and a small plant pot, so that they can go under the red blanket or go around the small flower pot, jump over the big bucket, and to give them little instructions on the obstacle course. And then also you can do a throwing game again, so get the objects out that we had before, so the bucket and the hoop and that kind of thing, and have alternatives. In scrunched up paper will do, but if you have, for example, different coloured bean bags, different coloured paper, so you could say throw the yellow paper into the bucket, or throw the red bean bag into the flower pot. So just making it that little bit trickier by making the instruction a little bit longer and adding other things in. So just make sure that you've got alternative items, so that they've got to think about not just the item, but maybe what it looks like or the size, that kind of thing. So older children in primary school, again, obstacle course is still going to be a really good one. They'll really enjoy, I'm sure. But this time, get them to build it with you. And maybe they've got to then explain to you or to a sibling how to do the obstacle course. So they've got to sort of talk them through it. It's really good for narrative skills, and then thinking about sort of constructing sentences and what words they're going to use, what action words and what position words. So you have to go over the long plank, you have to hop over the short stick, you have to walk around the big bucket, you have to jump over the red blanket and go under the purple blanket. So they can make it a little bit more complicated, and you can talk through as you're building it and then get them to repeat it back to you. Another good thing is categories tag or relay race. So just set up 2 points, so marked with a beanbag or a bucket or something, 2 places in your garden or playing field, wherever you are, and think of a category. So for example, vehicles. And every time you go to the marked points, you have to say an item from that category. And then when you tag the person at the other point, they have to say something from that category. And then you just go back and forth trying to think of as many things as you can from the category you've chosen. And similarly, another category game, but with bowling. If you've got proper bowling kits, like with the plastic pins, that's great, but things like tin cans will do. So stack them up. So they might not stack very well on the grass. I'd probably need a few more than I've got, but just to show you, you stack a few up, and then think of a category like animals, and then you bowl it. However many you knock over, that's how many you have to name. So I've knocked over 4, so I've now got to think of 4 animals. And of course, you can make it harder by going further away, stacking them up in a pyramid or lining them up. So, and you can sort of change the rules slightly if you want to and make it more tricky. For secondary school children, things like bouncing or kicking a ball to each other. So again, choosing a category, and maybe for the older kids, something a bit more tricky, like not just animals, but zoo animals or farm animals, or animals that don't have legs, or animals that live in the sea, just something that's a bit more tricky they've got to think about. And every time you kick or throw or bounce the ball to each other, you have to think of something from that category. Also, on the obstacle course theme again, if you can get them to design a game. So it could be designing a more complicated obstacle course, or designing a brand new sports game, or a combination of 2 games like tennis, basketball, or something like that, and get them to design that and set it up, and then ask them, how do you play the game? So what's the play? What's the rules? How do you score points? What happens if this happens? And why did you decide to do that game? Why did you decide to do tennis instead of football, or that kind of thing? So some of those WH questions, and also getting them to talk through the game is really good for narrative skills as well. So yeah, and their imagination can run wild then, because they can combine anything that they like or create anything they like. And it's a really nice thing then you can actually do as a family. Okay, so I hope you enjoy doing some of these sports activities for our chat challenge, and yes, have loads of fun, and I hope you get a sunny day to do it. Okay, thanks, bye.